We've talked a lot about digital learning today, but of course the question we get a lot is, what about the future? What does the future hold for us, and what sort of things can we expect in tomorrow's digital learning?
Yeah, well, that's of course a really important question. And I think we have to be 100% honest here and say that we really can't predict the future. I mean, we've all seen Back to the Future. I'm still waiting for my hoverboard. And I think that we've conceived from the past that 9 times out of 10, we predict the future probably quite incorrectly. But what we can say is that we need to be prepared for the future. We need to be open-minded to the future and what's coming, and be ready to take advantage of anything that comes.
So it's really important that not only do we follow trends and try new things all the time, but that we also remember to listen to our customers and try to respond to their needs, not just today, but actually before they occur, to be a couple of steps ahead.
Absolutely, and not only to be steps ahead, but also to be ready to listen to them, because they might be one step ahead of us, but we're still ready to take on that, to take their advice.
Exactly. So what about learning in the flow of work? That's something that everybody's talking about these days.
Yeah. Learning in the flow of work is the buzzword that's around at the moment, or buzz phrase. And what it means is that despite our best efforts, learners are still spending a lot of time outside of their work learning. And this is all about opportunity cost. They should be working. Could be seen as slightly wasted time. So what we want to be able to do is insert the learning straight into their work, so they don't have to take time out or at all. And this is already going on now. This is what everybody is doing, but we want to take this one step further, because if you think about the most important lessons you've ever learned in your life, okay, they came probably from some really random moment. And generally we have phrases like School of Hard Knocks, University of Life, and this is where we really learn, and we know that. So what we want to be able to do is harness this randomness, take some control over it, and then insert it into people's work life, so that they don't maybe even realise that they're actually learning at all.
Yeah, okay, I have to ask you, how do we do that?
Okay, yeah, well then we can just bring in the next buzz phrase or buzzword, which is of course artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is something that's already in existence. We can experience it, Siri and all of this kind of things. And the technology we need to be able to do what we want to do, analyze, collect the data, monitor, is already there. It's already there.
Right.
It's just, it could be a little bit challenging to put in practice and possibly too expensive right now. But that's going to change in the future, and we need to be ready to harness that power. So what we want to think about is that the artificial intelligence can do 2 things. Firstly, it can be quite reactive. It can see, okay, you did something wrong. This is what you should have done instead.
Fix it.
Yeah, it's going to fix the problems. But more importantly, it can look ahead and predict what's going to happen next. Simple example would be, you've got a sales meeting next week. This client is quite tricky. We know about them. Are you prepared enough? This is the kind of resources you should be checking. This is what your colleagues have done in the past to be successful. We can monitor what people are doing at every level, right down to their health, their location, how long they spend doing things. It's already there.
Yeah, this makes me want to talk about ethics a little bit, right? I mean, we can do this, but should we?
Yes, and I think that's the biggest stumbling block. Do we actually want to really do this in practice? It's not a case of can we do it, because we can, and it's only going to get easier, but should we actually do it? So the solution to this is that people can opt into it. It has to be beneficial enough for them that they actually want to participate in this kind of scheme. If they don't want to participate, then this obviously will not work, sadly.
Right. So I guess the answer really is that we don't know what the future holds, but we're doing everything every day to be prepared for it, listening, watching what's happening, trying out new things, and above all, listening to our customers and trying to think of new ways to respond to their needs tomorrow. And, if we talk about this very same thing, let's say 6 months from now or a year from now, we'll probably have different answers again.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's come back to this then.
Definitely, yes. See you next year.
Right.